going to do kind of a brief introduction. And not all of it we're going to talk about is on your paper, especially at the end, but at least you're going to have a good start on phobias, right? And the Bible says, of course, it says phobias, no longer terribly afraid. And, of course, Isaiah 41:10 says, do not fear, for I'm with you. Do not be dismayed, for I'm your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. That's a very powerful, powerful thing. Well, here we go. Have you ever been misunderstood, criticized, or ridiculed? Do you have a persistent, and listen to this now, if you were in my office right now, and maybe you come with your spouse, or brought your child, or your spouse brought you, and you just came by yourself. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got plenty. Is it? You got one. Did you get any more extra? You got one?
I did.
Okay, so you got more than you have an extra.
Yeah, anybody else need one?
Okay. I couldn't get them. They're all stuck together, so I just gave out. Yeah. Okay. I have people sometimes come into office, or I even see them places. Even at the hospital, when I go in to minister to people at the hospital, and it's really bad. There's two places that I find phobias the strongest, and that is at the jail and at the hospital. That is the two greatest places. Why? Because you're in unfamiliar territory. What you think about now, you're in unfamiliar territory, and usually what you've got to go on is what you've heard other people talk about. Okay? So if you send me to a place and I'm already concerned, I've already got the jitters because I'm going in for a surgery, I'm going in because somebody in my family's getting ready to have a surgery, and all of a sudden I get to hear everybody that talks to me says, well, watch out when you go in that hospital. And so it's like, they have witch doctors and they don't know what they're doing, and all my people died because of them, and so you go in there, you're going, oh no. Why do they pick this hospital? Or you go into jail, and they say, you better watch out now, because you're going to wind up being somebody's doll baby. Or you better watch out if you don't convert to Muslim real fast, like the Muslims are going to kill you. Or if you don't find a gang to hang with and get some gang signs. You know, and then when you're first arrested and you're put in pit detention center, you're by yourself to start with. They put you by yourself until they can figure out if you're in a gang, and if you're in a gang, what gang you're in. And if you're Muslim or Christian or whatever, they've got to identify who you are so they know they can have a chance to put you in the proper place. So, with all this in mind, you got to remember, phobias are running rampant. You know, I didn't know it. I thought I knew that poor little fella that was sitting in the F block. I thought I knew him sitting at that table all by himself. And so it was real noisy in there, and I run up behind him one night. I run up behind him and grabbed him by his shoulders, and I yanked him good and hard and said, get up! And the guy about had a heart attack. He turned around, and he wasn't who I thought he was. And praise God, I wasn't who he thought I was. Because he thought I was one of the big guys coming in to hurt him. And I felt bad about that for a little while. Anyway, okay.
I tell you what, it is interesting to go in there and watch those guys on one side of the hall, and you know they're in a gang, and the guys on the other, they're sitting there gang fighting with their seagulls, and then the guards have to get in there and say, y'all cut this mess out, man. And then they'll slip them up, move one down to another end and another cell.
Well, I can tell you this too. We go down there sometimes in A&B block, and I have to go down with the guys, and then after I go down with them, I go back over and go to F block and D block. And I heard on multiple occasions, but one day specifically, they brought some new guys in. They had gone through the incubation period where they tried to figure out, you know, what gang they were in and all this stuff. So they brought them down, and they were going to put some in A block and some in B block, but they lined them up against the wall just before they went in. And the guard told them, said, here's the rules. I don't want to see you flashing a gang sign or any kind of sign across the hall to one of the guys in the other, because they got great big windows. I mean, big old windows. He says, I don't want you passing signs back and forth. And it says, and I don't want you touching one another, and I don't want you talking back to any guard, but especially the female guards. If you make any kind of crude remark to female guards, he said, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you. If If you break any of these rules I just gave you, you're going back to me over in isolation, and you're going to, it's actually, it's called a segregation, and you put him there, and you're by yourself, and at 8 by 8, he says you're going to be in there for 30 days to teach you a lesson. 30 days. And I remember going there one night, and I went over in segregation. The guy had been over in general population, and now he's over in segregation. I look at him, and his tooth is broke off in his mouth, and he's got stitches, and his nose is messed up. And I said, what in the world happened to you? Why are you here? He said, I was defending myself, and they put me in here for 30 days. He said, 2 guys jumped me, beat my head against a sink, busted out my tooth, busted my eye socket. And he said, and I'm in here for 30 days. He looked pitiful. And if he won, I'd hate to see the guys that lost, okay? It was terrible.
Okay. You're talking about the hospitals and phobias. Somebody told Stephen last night that if their sister hadn't been in both county hospitals, she would probably live longer and made longer. But when I went, the 24th of January, when I went to the emergency room twice, then that day I went first to Pitt. They didn't help me hardly at all. They just told me I need to go to a gas room. I come over here, and the doctor here at Beaufort ran all kinds of tests on me, and then when he found out I had a light heart attack earlier, a few years ago, he turned around and reran another test before he would let me leave there. He did a lot more than they did at Pitt. And it doesn't make it, I mean, you know, they did a good job at Pitt. They just couldn't find out what was wrong. This one, you did find out what was wrong.
Well, yeah.
So it's whoever you...
It's actually the doctor that you got.
It's at the time and how busy they are, how...
This guy I was talking to last night, I said, how long was your sister actually there? He said, from the time she got there until she passed away was about 3 hours. I said, well, let me tell you the same basic scenario. My mother had the same identical situation. And she was in the hospital about 4 hours and passed away. And they called us in and told us that, you know, we don't care where she was in the hospital at. She was doomed.
Oh, yeah.
She was in God's hands, and only God himself could have prevented what happened. And I said, you know, your sister was in really, she was in a serious... Well, I said, but you got to rest assured of one thing. Your sister was ready to go.
That's
you
right.
know that.
That's right.
He said, yeah.
That's
it's
right.
just, you know, you can't let the phobias of what hospital you go to or what doctors you see. There's some that, you know, some that can find out something. If it hadn't been for the Missy being with me that night and mentioning her being in the hospital for something that had to do with fibromyalgia, that made him check it out. That's how he found out what was wrong.
Right, well, 3 weeks ago, on a Thursday morning, I get up and I have a pain shoot in my eye, and then I see a bright flash of light, and then a flood of floaters, big old floaters like I've never seen before. And I said, wow. And my head was still hurting, and I said, that's wild. And so I went to Pitt Detention Center at night, and while riding in the van, every time cars go by, I see this big old halo of light. And so the next day I went to the mass meeting over in Arapahoe, and I asked Robbie O'Quinn, another pastor who had just had his retina detached a couple of years ago. I told him what happened. He said, dude, you need to go see the eye doctor. He said, I don't know if it's an attached retina, but it's got all the signs of it, so you need to go. And I still waited a couple of days. So I wound up going to the first one I could get to because I was waiting on my mother-in-law and father-in-law. So I looked for the fastest one I could get to. I had to wait. And so I wound up going to, everywhere I went, I had to wait 2 or 3 hours. And if my retina's detached, I don't need to wait 2 or 3 hours. And so I go to the one right beside Arby's, and they take me right on back, and they were, and she's an obstetrician. She is a doctor, not a doctor. But I was texting some of my family members because they wouldn't know what was going on. I was texting this 50-cent word that she said I had going on with me. Said my retina's in a good position, but the jelly's falling down, and other stuff. So everything's happening but the retina. And so somebody texted me, and I couldn't even read my text. I'm trying to text down what the doc said, and I had to show the doctor text. I said, am I doing this right? And about that time, one of my family members sent back and said, she's not a real doctor. Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe, you know, and again, here goes that. I was a phobia then, a phobia that she read it. I thought she read it because I had to focus my eyes because she had dilated my eyes. And so it got worse, and so I went to see them Monday because it got worse. And she said, it's going to get worse before it gets better because it's still falling. Okay? Oh, by the way, if you want a good pickup line next time you're in a nursing home, watch this. You better call Life Alert, honey, because I just fell over you and I can't get up. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that, but I'll find it out. All right, so look, we get back. Look, but again, I had one of my family members. I was telling them what the doc said, and they said, "But you didn't go to an MD," is what they're trying to say. I said, "It doesn't matter. If it was an MD, we'd have wanted to fix it." I said, "But it's okay because this doctor's been trained. They know what they're doing. They are a doctor. They did not get it by 50 cents and 2 box tops. They went to school. They are a doctor."
They're not ophthalmologists, they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doctors. They're ODs. And but she checked it again and did a lot of tests on it. She told me, said, "Mr. Linton, it's going to be okay. But if you have certain things happen, you know, like your peripheral vision." I said, "Well, yesterday I pulled out in front of a car. I didn't see the car." And she said, "Okay, worse than that."
Worse than that. What do you mean worse than that?
All righty then. Obviously, I didn't tell the person that said they weren't a real doctor. I didn't tell that one. Okay. But again, I went to a real doctor. But again, here's the phobias. All these phobias. All right, here, let's get back to this thing. All right. Do you have a persistent, irrational fear that just won't go away? And we're going to talk about it, okay? A persistent, irrational fear that just won't go away. Have you ever had one of those? I mean, just think about it. Is there something that you actually, it gets your goat, it tears you up, and you don't know what to do about it, it's got you, and even people around you say, you know it's rough because people around you say, you have no need to be afraid of that. Why are you so afraid of that? Matter of fact, Jesus would even say, why are you so afraid? Again, irrational fear. The disciples had phobias. So, persistent irrational fear that just won't go away. It's excessive. Listen to me now. This is phobias. It's excessive. It's out of proportion to the actual degree of the threat. Remember, you got a 5-cent threat and you got a $10 fear. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, a little chihuahua's coming at you, but you see a ferocious Rottweiler. That's a phobia. When you see that stuff coming, a little old mouse is coming your way, but you see a lion coming. That's when you know it's a phobia. So it's affecting every area of your life. It curtails your activities. It suffocates your joy. And I want you to pay careful attention to what I just said. Curtails your activities, meaning it actually helps you decide if you're going to accept invitations to certain places. It helps you decide if you're even going to walk in that door. When that's going on, there's a phobia, and that phobia is attacking. Okay, so here we go. You know, there are some people who have a phobia of the funeral home. They will not go in the funeral home. Even if nobody's in there, they will not go in the funeral home. I've seen people like that. There are some, and of course, we'll talk about this in a minute about the public speaking, but again, here we go. So people in this ditch are deathly afraid, huddled in a corner, fearful that no matter how high the ditch walls are, they won't escape the threat. You're in the foxhole, but the foxhole's not high enough. So whether it's a formidable fear of elevators, spiders, or something else, one thing is certain, God wants to empower us, shall say me, to move from the pandemonium of panic to absolute peace. Or powerful peace. Matter of fact, I should have put powerful peace there. From powerful peace Powerful peace. From pandemonium of panic to powerful peace. So, again, Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And let me just read another couple of verses. Here's some Hebrew. Fear not, there's nothing to fear, for I am with you. Do not look around you in terror and be dismayed. For I am your God. I will strengthen and harden you to difficulties. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will hold you up and retain you with my victorious right hand of righteousness and justice. And here's the message. Again, I just love the message. Don't panic, I'm with you. There's no need to fear, for I'm your God. I will give you strength. I will help you. I will hold you steady. I will keep a firm grip on you. So now, again, irrational fear. If a cottonmouth snake jumped up on this chair, up on this podium right now, I tell you, that's not an irrational fear when I jump. That is a smart man. Now, if there's a little old green snake up there or a little old earthworm, and I'm going, oh, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Yeah, I got a phobia. All right? I'll tell you something, don't do. I used to think years ago that possums were so sweet and innocent, and they'd
Yeah.
And there was one in the yard, and I went to get him. I thought, since he's playing possum, I'll go grab him by his tail, and he'll be asleep, and I'll pick him up, and I'll take him over to where he's supposed to go. I learned my valuable lesson on possums that night.
Good.
But that thing turned around and the eyes looked like fire, and the mouth looked like fire, and he had 500 teeth. Just in the top front. Okay? So I moved. I moved out of the way. All right. Here we go.